Creepy abandoned hospital, Waverly Hills. The mysterious Waverly Hills Hospital, located in the American state of Kentucky, has been standing for 107 years. When Waverly Hills' terrible past combines with the paranormal events taking place today, chilling results emerge. Here's the chilling mystery of Waverly Hills. Waverly Hills Hospital in America, which has a history of more than a century, has made its name in history with the tragic events of the past. However, the events that took place after the hospital closed shocked those who saw and heard it. Here's the scary mystery of Waverly Hills. The construction of the hospital, where 64,000 people lost their lives during its service, started in 1908 and was put into use after the construction was completed in 1910. The hospital, which is said to be one of the scariest places in America, was designed as 5 floors. Waverly Hills, located in Kentucky, was intended to treat tuberculosis patients when it was opened. It was known as the most registered and equipped hospital in America before the tuberculosis disease, which could not be cured and treated at that time, became widespread. As the disease became increasingly widespread in the region, chilling events began to occur in the hospital. The hospital had the capacity to treat a maximum of 400 patients. As this number gradually increased, interest in patients gradually decreased. It is known that approximately 64,000 people died in the hospital until the cure for tuberculosis was discovered in 1961. Waverly Hills was closed because there was no need for a hospital after the cure for tuberculosis was found. Waverly Hills was closed because there was no need for a hospital after the cure for tuberculosis was found. The deep scars on some patients' bodies proved how fatal the treatments were. Waverly Hills paranormal events increased even more during this period. In the hospital, the bodies of patients who died and committed suicide were carried through the tunnel called the body tunnel to avoid setting a bad example for other patients. And here are the paranormal events of Waverly Hills. Relatives who came to visit the patients complained hundreds of times to the responsible institutions of the hospital on the grounds that they saw ghosts. People living around the hospital stated that there were some shadows walking around. And here are the paranormal events of Waverly Hills. Relatives who came to visit the patients complained hundreds of times to the responsible institutions of the hospital on the grounds that they saw ghosts. People living around the hospital stated that there were some shadows walking around. Room 502 is shown as one of the most common places where incidents occur, especially on the 3rd and 5th floors. Such events still occur today in the room where 2 nurses committed suicide together. According to the information obtained, one of the 2 nurses who committed suicide by hanging herself, and the other committed suicide by jumping from the window. Many people who entered the room had witnessed the scene of a woman hanging herself many times. Some of them were even physically pushed by some forces, according to recorded reports. From that year until today, people who only wanted to watch the hospital from the outside stated that a woman jumped from the window but disappeared before falling to the ground. The screams, crying women's voices, and shadows heard in the body tunnel gave people the chills. A movie was even shot about Waverly Hills, where the biggest paranormal events of the 20th century took place. The movie The Ghosts of Waverly Hills Sanatorium, shot in 2006, is a perfect film version of an event for those who love horror movies. The building is currently used only for paranormal research. The hospital was featured in several television programs under the title Paranormal.